Okay, another example we want to look at, I want to take a look at a slightly more challenging, or what may be a slightly more challenging example. And we have 4 times the quantity x plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 2 times the quantity x plus 4. That seems like it's going to be way harder than it really is, but we have to just look at each part, one part at a time, and it should really simplify itself. So let's take a look at the left-hand side. What I want to do first is distribute. Well, and by the way, there are many ways to handle this, but I think the easiest thing to do is to go ahead and distribute both the 4 and the negative 2 into their respective parentheses. So 4 distributed into the quantity x plus 1, we have 4 times x and 4 times 1. So the 4 times x will give us 4x, and 4 times 1 will give us 4. On the other side, we have negative 2 times the quantity x plus 4. Now, a lot of people will be tempted to switch the symbol of inequality, but since we're not doing something to both sides, we don't change anything. This symbol of inequality is still going to stay negative. Still going to say greater than or equal to. The negative 2 is only being distributed on the right-hand side, so we're not really doing anything that would cause anything to switch. So negative 2 times x is going to be negative 2x, and negative 2 times 4 is going to be negative 8 or minus 8. So now we can get to solving it. To solve it, we want to group all of our x terms on one side, and on the other side we want to group all of our constants, or numbers that don't have variables next to them. So the first thing I would do is I would usually like to move the x term with the lowest coefficient. So I want to move this negative 2x. And the way I would do that is by adding 2x to both sides of the equation. Negative 2x plus 2x, those are going to add to 0 or sort of cancel out. And 4x plus 2x is going to give us 6x. And I just want to bring down my 4, or my plus 4 rather, bring down my symbol of inequality, and I want to bring down the minus 8. A lot of people forget that that negative sign goes with the 8 now. So my next step is to try to group all of my constants on the right-hand side. So what I want to do is subtract 4 from both sides of my inequality. So what I end up with is 6x is still greater than or equal to negative 8 minus 4 is going to give me a negative 12. And I'm almost done with solving this. The only thing I need to do now is divide both sides of this inequality by 6. 6x divided by 6, the 6's are going to divide to 1 or cancel out for us. And what I have is x is greater than or equal to negative 12 divided by 6 is going to give me negative 2. And now I need to graph that. To graph it, I'm going to put negative 2 in the middle of the number line. Values lower than negative 2 to the left. Values greater than negative 2 to the right. I want to put a circle above negative 2, and this time I want to fill it in. If you remember our little trick, if there's extra ink down here, we want to put extra ink in that circle because we want to include negative 2 as part of our solution set. We can cover all the values greater than negative 2, and since we have x set up on the left-hand side, we can follow our little arrow here, and that's the way we're going to go. And then we just want to go ahead and check some of those solutions to see if they work. Just want to go ahead and give us some room, so erase a little bit of our work. And that didn't work. All right, so I guess I'm not going to erase any of our work, and I'm just going to go ahead and check in this little box that I'm making. I want to check to see what happens when I put in -2. So I have 4 times the quantity -2 plus 1, and I want to see if that is greater than or equal to -2 times the quantity -2 plus 4. So I have -2 plus 1, or I want to simplify the left-hand side first. I feel like I should say that. -2 plus 1 is going to give me just a -1. And I have 4 times -1 now, which is going to give me a -4. I want to see, is that greater than or equal to the right-hand side? So I want to handle the inside of my parentheses first. I have -2 plus 4, and that's going to give me a +2. So now I have -2 times +2. -2 times +2 is going to give me -4. Now that's not greater than -4, but it still works with this or equal to part. So that shows that this is a solution to the inequality. And I guess I will go ahead and move on to our next problem.